Join me as I create another altered book. I've already put this book together as far as gluing the pages and doing the basic base paint. I have a video on my Seabreezydesigns page that shows you how to do the upfront work to put a book together. Now I'm going to start building my pages, my two front pages of my book. And I like to have some print or text on the pages, so I'm using this ephemeral type stamp from Iron Orchid Designs. I'm using the colored turmeric, and it's a nice kind of yellowy gold color. And I'm just going to stamp the lettering, the words, the script onto the pages, and I am going to actually let it drape over to the edges of the book as well. And this is just going to give some background to the book as we begin to layer the design. I'm going to put it a little differently on the other side. I like to leave this stamp all together. The pieces there's a lot of different pieces to it, so you could always pull those off and use them how you'd like. But as a whole, I like using this stamp, and I use it a lot to build background for my projects. I always like to start from the back and build forward. Now we have our base to start with, and a quick tip is as soon as I finish using my stamps, I just get a wet wipe and I wipe the ink off. Now I'm ready to apply my transfers. These are from the IOD Christmas release that we just had, and we still have these in stock at Coconut Barrel, and you can get them in the store or online at coconutbarrel.com. I love this stocking, and I had been waiting for the right spot to use it, and I think it's perfect for this book page. And once I apply it, it looks like it's just floating off the page. Now every transfer comes with this rubbing stick, and you see how I am rubbing from the bottom and I'm moving up, and I'm pulling my transfer piece on the top. I'm pulling that up, and sometimes you'll hear and see the transfer release, but not always. And as I rub and then pull it up, often it's already doing the releasing. I pull it up just a little bit at a time, and I make sure that all of the pieces are sticking. If any of the pieces are not completely transferred, I just put the top piece back down and keep rubbing until it's transferred. When I'm done, I use the glossy side to kind of burnish it to make sure all the pieces have stuck. Now I'm going to use this floral, but I'm going to put it a little lower on the page because I want to put something above it. This is going to be multimedia. We're going to bring some molds in. Look at how that stocking just looks like it's floating right off the page. So now I'm going to one of the release molds, Santa's Sleigh. And what I love about this mold is all of the cute little presents it has in it. There's just a bunch of them. So many things you could use these for. But I'm pulling out my mica powders and I'm going to color them up. And then I'm going to use air dry clay. And I have a lot of choices of sizes with these little gifts. So I'm going to pick 3 of different sizes, and I'm going to use, like I said, my air dry clay, and I'm going to put these around the stocking. When using your air dry clay, you just want to get as lovely and flat of a surface as you can on the back of it. These molds have this wonderful micro rim to them, which just shapes your molds so beautifully. So when it came out, the colors weren't quite as vibrant as I wanted them to be. So I can brush my mica powder right on top of the air dry clay as well to color it. Now I'm going to use my favorite Titebond Quick and Thick glue, and I am going to apply these air dry clayed gifts that I made from the mold around the stocking. I think they add just the perfect touch. So on the page on the left, remember I left some space at the top because I wanted to add a mold. This is the Biblots mold, and I love all of the choices. They're just like blank ornaments. So I'm actually going to cast with air dry clay 2 of the molds because I'm not sure which one I want to put above it. I think this one would look great, this oval kind of frame. I think this would look good, but then one of the ornaments would be pretty cute too. So I'm gonna do 2 colors. I'm gonna do a green around the trim, and then I'm gonna do gold in the middle. When you look at these molds, they built into the molds marks that look like the mold is distressed, and I absolutely love them. They add so much character to them. A lot of people panic when they see it thinking there's something wrong with their mold, but it's not. It's just the way the mold was designed to give them a really fun, sweet, vintage look to them. So I'm going to color this one, and then I'm going to color this ornament as well, and try to decide which one that I want to use on the book. So keep watching, and you'll see which one I pick. So after trying both of them on the book, I decided to go with the ornament. I'm going to use the Apothecary Labels because the Apothecary Labels has 4 different alphabets in it. Actually, 2 the same alphabets, but different size of the letters. And I am going to use these letter stamps and emboss the word Noel into this ornament. I just place it on top, kind of get my spacing right there, and then just gently press the stamp into the clay, and it leaves an impression of the letter, and it embosses it in there. So I've got the word Noel. Then I'm going to come back with some more mica powder and color it in. I think we went with, some red there, or nope, we went with gold. So now I have customized my ornament, and it's time to glue it onto the page. We're going to go back to our Titebond Quick and Thick, and I always want to make sure that I get it all the way around the edges so that it adheres really well to my surface. I don't have to really put a ton of it on, but I just want to make sure I have enough so that it adheres well. Press it gently around the edges because we don't want to squeeze out the design of the mold. And it looks perfect on here. But it is an ornament, so I want it to look like it's hanging from the page. So I'm going to grab a red pen that has a real thin tip to it. Just draw a little line at the top and add a glimmery gold thin bow to look like the ornament is hanging from the top of the page. My last step for this book is I want it to look a little more vintage, so I'm taking my stamp pad in the color Coffee. I just picked these stamp pads up at Hobby Lobby, and I'm just going along the edges of the book and the edges of the pages just to give it a little more of a vintage look to it. I love what this adds. And now my book is complete. I didn't show you how I did the backside, but I just painted it in the color Pine Shadow and added a few more transfers to finish it off. This will be so beautifully displayed on a stand, or it even stands up by itself. What a fun and unique Christmas decor idea.